lad with a troubled past, shit home. Spent a lot of time in prison. Last six, 8 months, like I've started boxing. It's completely changed my life. I got caught in a stolen car when I was about 11, and ever since then it's just escalated. So I went from stealing cars to burgling houses. I stood in these courts in 2007 with a Code D from a violent robbery where somebody had bit a hole in this kid's cheek and stole his phone. The first time I got arrested for a theft of motor vehicle. About 11-year-old, was trashing it around the state. Couldn't even drive, couldn't even get it out of first gear, curbing it, ramming it into everything. I don't know, since like getting clean, I've tried to become like an advocate for men's mental health. I took an attempt on my own life. The last time I went back to prison, like.
One man's story. A life of crime, addiction, and a struggle with mental health. Jordan Williams, My Story.
Yeah, my name's Jordan. I'd like to thank Marti for making this and helping me get my story out there. I don't know, I was a lad with a troubled past, shit home. Spent a lot of time in prison. Last six, 8 months, like I've started boxing. It's completely changed my life. I'm not gonna lie and say I'm fully clean. Like I'm not as hard on drugs as I was. I was addicted to crack. I was on the streets for a very long time. No contact with my children or family. But yeah, boxing slowly helped me rebuild family ties, see my daughter again. Like it's brilliant. So I grew up in Beechton. Majority of my life, I was there. So I was about 14-year-old, that's really when I started getting in trouble. Hanging around with wrong people, didn't want to be at home, like I've said, it's a bit of a shit family life, you know what I mean? Didn't want to be at home, so I'd run away, I'd hang around with older kids, and eventually they got me committing crime, taking drugs. From maybe 11, 12-year-old, I went on hard drugs, ecstasy, sniffing, amphetamine, staying up for days and that. And it just spiralled out of control from there. I think the first time I ran away, I was 12-year-old. Like I say, all my friends were older. They were late teenagers, early 20s. Some people I was hanging around with at 11, 12-year-old. And I think they were just taking advantage of me, you know what I mean? I was that small kid that could fit through windows, or they had me stealing from home and stuff. It was a bit shit, you know what I mean? But I was that desperate to be away from home and have good friends around me. I just kind of fell into it, and it spiralled from there. It led to, like I say, nearly serving 14 years in prison throughout my life. I just want people to believe, like, no one's ever believed in me, you know what I mean? Like family, partners, I've never believed in myself, and it's now that I've got a good community around me, and the fighting community, there is a lot of broken people, but there's a lot of love there, there's a lot of guidance, like, they've helped me with jobs, I've got work from it all, I'm fighting on a regular basis, I've met good positive people, friends that'll be friends for life. I just want people to see that if you distance yourself away from that shitty crowd and get in with people that actually have your best interests at heart, you can achieve anything. I've gone from being a nobody, like in the fight game. I've had a few fights now, I've lost a couple, won a couple. And I fight for the title in January, you know what I mean, a bare knuckle title, so I've moved from glove boxing to bare knuckle, which is very good. I had my first fight with a lad named Jimmy Hudds, the champion, held him for 2 rounds, very, very tough fucking kid, and off the back of that fight I've been offered a title fight because of my performance, even though I lost. I've got another one coming up with a lad called Bob Wilson, so we're doing a trilogy. It's going to be the first ever kind. No one else has done this on earth. So his first fight's going to be bare knuckle, the second fight's going to be MMA, and his third fight's going to be a hybrid fight. And then Bob's retiring after that, so I feel blessed that an absolute veteran of the games wanting to give me the trilogy, and then he's retiring, man. I'd feel blessed, you know what I mean?
Going back 10 years ago, if there's 3 things that you didn't think you'd have that you have now, what would they be?
Self-respect. My daughter, my daughter loves me to bits and she's my motivation. I couldn't have ever seen myself drug-free. You know what I mean? Like, well, like I said, I won't blow smoke up your ass. I have had an odd sniff and that, you know what I mean, but I will flat out, like I said, I don't crack, I'd sniff every day. I was smoking, fucking fell out with a lot of people, you know what I mean, having every cunt over. Like, it was a shitty lifestyle, it left me with no, you know what I mean, to the point where I contemplated suicide and I just couldn't see no other way out.
Right. 3 things that you want to have in 5 years' time that you don't have now.
I want to be driving, I want to have my own place. I know things at the minute with market are a bit fucking shit, but I'd like to have a mortgage, but that might be more of a 10-year plan. I want to have a legacy, I want something to leave behind for my daughter, you know what I mean? I want there for the first fucking 5 years of her life. I spent it in prison. Like, I had fuck all growing up, never had no, if I wanted clothes, I had to go steal them. Like, it got to a point where I never had fuck all. There were scruffy kids on the street, and if I wanted something, I'd have to literally peel it off on other kids' back, you know what I mean? This was 11, 12-year-old, and it was a bit dog eat dog, and that's what it is. I've been in survival mode so long. So yeah, I want my licence, a good family.
What's your situation with work at the moment?
Yeah, so I've got on with a good demolition firm. I work away 5 days a week. It's fucking very good money. Very good money. Expenses, very good digs. I've got a very good gaffer, you know what I mean, and he looks after his lads, and it's a privilege to work with the firm that I do. There's 4 of us, you know what I mean, on demolition, our firm, that travel together and stuff, and we have some good laugh. It's stuff I've never experienced in life, you know what I mean, like having good people around me, positive people. I have to sit back sometimes and think, like, fucking hell, this is mad, you know what I mean, like I never thought I'd have this, you know what I mean. I thought I'd always be stuck in the same rut, in the same kitchens off my head with the same fucking dossers that didn't want no out of life other than to get off their edge, you know what I mean. And I don't have that anymore. I've got people that want to support me, they're positive, and you know what I mean, they engage with me in a different way to what I've never even been engaged with before, you know what I mean. And it's a bit surreal for me, you know what I mean. It's a bit surreal for having people around me that want the best for me, not just what they can get out of me or what I've got to bring to the table drug-wise or fucking crime and stuff like that, you know what I mean. They're not interested in that. They're glad to have me as a friend. It's a bit weird. It's a weird feeling. I feel like is it imposter syndrome? You know what I mean? Like, where you know in your head, like, the person that you are, but these people don't know. These people don't know, like, they vibe off you and they have a buzz off you and they think you're a genuinely good person, but then still in the back of your mind you're thinking, like, would they think this about me if they knew my past? And do you know what I mean? It's a bit hard. It's a bit hard to deal with, you know what I mean. I live with a lot of guilt.
So something you were saying to me earlier, which is going to be the first time in a large number of years something's about to change. What's that?
Yeah, so I could say from the 19th of December this year, 2025, it was the first time that I have no conditions. I'm not involved in no probation, no nothing, for the first time since I was 11-year-old. It's 22 years I've been under some kind of court order, probation order, whether it be in prison or, yeah. So as of the 19th of December, I'm fully free of all conditions for the first time. It's surreal. It's a massive weight off my shoulders.
If anything, it just shows you success, Jordan. That's what it shows. It shows you success.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's
proof.
Worked hard, you know what I mean?
Proof
like,
is in the pudding, brother.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
you're about to have your pudding.
Yeah.
Rightly
Yeah,
so.
it's my time, bro. It's my time.
Yeah. So we're just walking through Leeds City Centre, and what was it you just pointed out to me, Jordan?
Dodgy, man. I remember when he wrote that in 2007. When else he was hanging around with kids up at LCC.
Bonkers, that, innit? 2007. Just shows how good council was to all, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't know, since like getting clean, I've tried to become like an advocate for men's mental health. Yeah, I took an attempt on my own life. The last time I went back to prison, like, my head wasn't in a very good place. Like, I'd promised myself, and I kind of talked myself into it that if I went back to prison, that was it. I was going to kill myself. I couldn't do with it no more. But yeah, the officers, fucking, they heard me gurgling, or they heard a sound, he told me, and they've come and cut me down. I got resuscitated. Yeah, it were bad. Like, it it was a genuine attempt on my life, and I don't know, I guess I've got that empathy now, and I kind of know like what people can be going through, so I never like to judge anybody, I never like to discredit anybody, but yeah, it's got to a point in my life where that was it, I was done, and I'd swore down, and I'd egg myself on it window, calling myself a little pussy, and like, you said you were going to do it, and you're just going to be in and out of jail your whole life, and I think that was it really, that was a turning point. After that, it were, I need to get focused, I need to get clean, I need to focus, started focusing on gym, I was training daily circuits. On my own, running every day. I remember Christmas Day running a 10k around prison yard, you know what I mean, on my own. Everyone else were fucking in on wing off their heads, fucking living the best life, and I just couldn't deal with it. I needed to do something productive. I got on as many courses as I could. I finally worked with mental health psychiatrists. I opened up fully, and it helped massively, just getting it off me. And I had a good psychiatrist. Like, I genuinely believed that she believed what I was saying, and it made me a lot more easier, and I was a lot more open. And yeah, I took a step. Like, I did a lot of courses. I could better myself and get a job. Like, I got on my CSCS card, my health and safety workplace. I got a level 2 gym instructors. I really enjoyed gym, and staff could see that, so they'd get me in gym. And yeah, I finally started a degree, so I could help people. I got 82% on my first year. I studied health and social care. I don't think it's something I'll be carrying on with. I'll be moving to like psychology or something like that, but just to get a bit of background into mental health and all kinds, like even dementia and stuff like it was a lot of insight into it. It helped me realise how my brain was ticking a little bit, and I got a lot of coping strategies from it, and yeah, it was brilliant, you know what I mean. I can't ever go back to that dark place. Like, it fucking ruined me. Didn't eat for 11 days. I ended up about 9 stone. You could see my ribs. Like, I wasn't with it. I wasn't speaking to no one. I didn't interact. I'd give up on life, you know what I mean? And that's all that I think about now. Every time I want to fucking get off my head or associate with wrong people, or I'm a bit skint and I fucking feel like going back to old ways and just making a quick raise, it's that dark place. And yeah, I can't go back there for my sake, for my daughter's sake. Like, it'd ruin her if I went away again, and I couldn't do that to none of us.
How difficult, yet how important is it to take that first step to, you know, ask for help?
You feel like no one's going to believe you, because I think we've all done it in our lives where you hear someone say, oh, I feel like killing myself, and you just think, oh, shut up, you silly cunt, you know what I mean? And that's the step you need to get past, and you need to find that one person that genuinely listens to you and thinks, you know what, we could do this thing. And I got that, you know what I mean? Like, I was on constant watches when I attempted, like, there were staff sat at my door and stuff, and I think if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have been taken seriously, and it had to lead to that for me to get the genuine help, you know what I mean? That they realised, you know what, this kid's not fucking about, like, he does need help. And yeah, they got me medicated, got me talking again, got me eating again, got me transferred from HMP Leeds to Humber. I'd asked to go to Humber because I had a few friends there that were, I'd say positive, they're in prison, but like, they're good kids, and I'd known them for a while. Do you know what I mean? And I built myself from there, you know what I mean? Like, I got my parole in June this year, and I got released, like, for my behaviour and stuff. I'd kept my head down, like I said, I'd gone to university, I was flat out in gym, running. I got my red band. Like, I'm high risk, I've been on E-list and everything before. Like, I try to get away from custody, and like, to get all that given to me because of how I represented myself, from the changes that I'd made, from that person I was walking through that gate on all these other sentences, to that person that left the gates in June. It's a totally different person. I don't even recognise myself, and it's hard to get my head around it, that I am this person, you know what I mean? And I just feel differently about life now after that. It could have been different. I couldn't have been here now. If that officer hadn't found me or heard them noises of me gurgling and vomiting, like, I wouldn't have been here. My daughter wouldn't have had a father, and I wouldn't have been living this life I'm living now, you know what I mean, where I'm happy and I'm content, and I've got good people around me, I've got my family back. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's different. My friends used to be drug addicts and criminals. Now my friends are the teachers and business owners, and do you know what I mean? Like, people with very good jobs and stuff, and it's a totally different ball game to what I'm used to, and it's hard adjusting to it, you know what I mean? I say some things and I realise what I'm saying, and these aren't these kind of people, you know what I mean? And it's mad, but yeah, it's growing on me. I enjoy it. I enjoy waking up on a morning. Spent a lot of time at Leeds Bridewell, fucking 3-4 days a week sometimes, or getting nicked and sent here. I think first time I got arrested I was 11. I got caught in a stolen car.
Louder, please, Jordan.
Yeah, I got caught in a stolen car when I was about 11. And ever since then it's just escalated. So I went from stealing cars to burgling houses. I mentioned earlier that the older lads would take advantage because I was smaller. They'd put me through windows and stuff. I'd fly in, get it all for them. I get no out of it. I might get a bit of a joint, you know what I mean, and smoke a joint with them. But yeah, and it just escalated from there. I thought, fuck this. When I got like 13, 14, got into my own thing, it started with street robberies. And that escalated, street robberies, burglary, until finally I was 16. I was on Operation Dargun, so me and somebody else. In a total I got 27 years in total of concurrent sentences, the 4-year biggest. While robbing every taxi. Taxis were sending 2 taxis at a time to addresses around like Beeston, Morlins, because we were getting robbed that many times. Running in shops, just ragging till out, no mercy shown, barefaced, not giving up. Yeah, the first time I got arrested for a theft of motor vehicle. About 11-year-old, was trashing it around the state. Couldn't even drive, couldn't even get it out of first gear, curbing it, ramming it into everything. And yeah, I got cautioned on that, like with the release you from police station, like a caution. And it escalated into burglaries and stuff. I climbed through an house, fucking just scuffs on the state, and I used to, like, they got terrorised, you know what I mean? They were a bit of a weird family. I'd climbed through, I'd nicked a phone or something, I can't remember what it was. But yeah, I got a youth referral order. I got breached countless times, brought back to court. It was like a reoccurring thing. 3-4 times a week I'd be at youth court with my grandma or my mother. And yeah, which eventually led to walking in here one day at 13, and I never walked back out. I got 8 months youth detention for resentenced on a burglary. And yeah, I want to know, but it was the last time I'd seen my mum as well on that sentence. So I got 8 months resentenced on the burglary, and I went to Assigfield. I've been in for about 2 months. Yeah, my social worker come and told me they've got some news that my mum had died. And yeah, it was just fucking... I think that's where it fully spiralled out of control after that. I didn't give a fuck, I had no heart. I just didn't care, I didn't give a fuck for I had no feelings. That's when drugs, when the drink and the drugs hit hard. Every day I was drinking. We got to Netto's, nick 6 litre of vodka, get arseholed, fucking just terrorising, just be little arseholes, man. We were untouchable, you know what I mean? Like, that's what it felt then. We were untouchable, arrested constantly, released constantly, arrested for breach of bail, released. And no ever come of it until that day when I finally walked into court. They went for recess. I got to go to stand up with my mum and walk out of court to go for a cig, and they'd locked the door. And we knew it was bad, you know what I mean? Like, we knew I went off to jail. Yeah. The judge sentenced me to 8 months and sent me to Assigfield Secure Training Centre. And yeah, that were an experience. It were crackers. Like, I went through what no kid should ever go through in a place like beaten by adults. These are officers that were in their care. At 13-year-old, they'd beat you. They used to call it scrubbing. So if you were a little arsehole, they'd rub your face in carpet and that like a dog, and scrub all your face so you had big scabs on it and that. Or take you surfing, that were another punishment they like to use. So they'd stand on your back and pull your arms up. And they were doing this to 11-year-old children, and it's... Now as an adult then, it would a bit shit then, but now you look at it as an adult thinking, well, my daughter's 7, like, 11-year-old's not far off 7, and how were they doing that to children, and no one were, you know what I mean? It was just sad times, it were bad. It escalated, and the crimes went from, I don't know, your petty thefts from shops, your stealing cars. Burglary's not a petty offence, but compared to some of the offences that I've been charged with, like, it's absolutely nuts. So yeah, ended up at youth court. There's something that'll always stick with me now. I think about it now because I see some people that have served IPP sentences. So for people that don't know, IPP's for the indeterminate protection of the public. So you don't have a release date. I stood in these courts in 2007 with a codee from a violent robbery where somebody had bit a hole in this kid's cheek and stole his phone. We come to sentencing. The judge looked at my co-defendant and he sentenced him to 3 years IPP. We didn't know what that was at that moment in time. So he was laughing and joking, thinking, yeah, but... And yeah, he's got to me and he sentenced me to 18 months IPP. So we didn't have a clue. We've gone downstairs and solicitors told me, like, you need to stop laughing and joking, like this is serious, she's just been handed a life sentence. And I was like, what do you mean? He said 18 months. And he explained the IPP. And I was like, what the fuck? I didn't really care. Like, I was still 15, I was still mad, like, yeah, fuck it. About 10 minutes later, we got called back into court. He called me co-defendant first. And he's like, oh, he's removed it, he's just given me 3 years. And then it's my turn, I've gone back into court, and the judge he's removed the IPP. He's looked through the cases, and it didn't warrant IPP on my behalf because that was my first offence as a robbery, even though my codee had it twice, robbery offences. So he removed it and just gave us a fixed term of 18 months and him a 3 year. And I sit and look at it now, people that I know that have got 2 years IPP and they're 20 years into them sentences, and it's ruined their lives. There's people that are taking their lives over it. And it's just, I was so lucky on that day that judge has really gone through that paperwork and realised that this was my first serious violent offence, and he's reconsidered it and he's removed that life sentence from the back end of it. And like, yeah, I count my blessings on that. My life could have been so different. I've seen people on these sentences where they're institutionalised and they're that fucked on drugs and they've got no hope, they have no release date, and it's sad to see them rotting away, you know what I mean? And a lot of these have got family support, and I never had that. And like, I couldn't have made it through a life sentence with no release date, not knowing when you're getting home, knowing fine well that you're never going home, potentially, you know what I mean? It's an old saying that the pen is mightier than the sword. No matter what you do, that little pen or that judge's hand, he can send you away for the rest of your life over the smallest of little things, what he deems fit, you know what I mean? And it's scary. My life could have been so different. I know I spent a lot of time in prison, but when I contemplate on that, like, it could have been so different. I could have had a life sentence over my head, you know what I mean? Never been able to settle, never been able to rest. And yeah, I count my blessings that we went through paperwork and thought it was justified to give us that sentence.
Looking back at all the times you've been in court, you've been in trouble, do you believe that the justice system did the right thing and made the right decisions and imprisoned you for your actions?
No. Or imprisonment, yeah, fair play. You've got protection of the public. I have been known like a bit of a loose cannon, and I just had no regard for my own safety, nobody else's safety. I had no fear when it come to offending, whether it be using weapons, extreme levels of violence to get what I wanted to get, you know what I mean? And there was no one stepping in the way of that, and it needed it. But then once you're imprisoned, that's it. You're just running around wing you with other criminals. There's no courses in place. There's no there that to help you change your life. If you want to change your life, you've got to do it yourself. And 9 times out of 10, you've got to kick off, and you've got to do something to make them listen that you do want to change and you want to help yourself out. And it shouldn't be like that. But if you're quiet and you're respectful, you just get dismissed. The courses don't work like they do. These officers are bringing more drugs in than anything else and not helping the situation. You've got these young kids in now, straight out of college. They're sleeping with prisoners. They're bringing drugs in. Like, where's the rehabilitation there? Where's the courses? These 2-year waiting lists. I mentioned before that I've been released on parole. I would ask to do courses. There were 2-3 year waiting lists. I only had 19-20 months left on my sentence, but I had to do these courses, but I'd have never made it on the waiting list anyway. It's just a pointless system. It needs a whole overturn. There's a lot of people trapped behind them walls that want to better themselves, that want to get away from this life, but the mental health support's not there. The drug and alcohol support's not there. You're locked in a cell 23 hours a day. You go to work all week and you might come out with £7. If you don't have no family or nothing, how are you meant to survive? How are you meant to live? I know it's meant to be a punishment, but there's also the rehabilitation part. And I'm lucky enough that I was smart enough to realise after 15 years that I need to do it myself. You can't rely on these people. They're there to get a wage. They're there to tick boxes. That's it. I know the system like the back of my hand. You know what I mean? And that's it. It's box ticking exercises. As long as the paperwork's fine, it's not. It doesn't work. It's not fit for purpose. Yeah, I've got one thing I've taken from this life is you'll never get your time back. Like, I fell out with people that I've never made up when they've lost their lives. I fell out with people and it's never going to get put right, you know what I mean? And just think about what you're doing, you know what I mean? Time's precious. Like, I've wasted almost 15 years in prison, half my life. I mean, it's no life. You think it's fun when you're a kid, and you have a buzz. I'm not even going to lie about that. You have a fucking buzz. And then you get older now, and I've got my own children, and I've missed out a lot of their life, and I've lost family members that I'm never going to get back, friends that I'm never going to see again. Yeah, just use your time wisely, you know what I mean? Even if you've got to fucking graft your ass off at fucking shit wage, it's better than being away in prison working for £14 a week. Yeah.